Today I'm going to be reviewing the Nodpod sleep mask. So in case you haven't heard of it, the Nodpod is a weighted sleep mask that uses deep touch pressure to make you sleep more easily and to make you sleep more deeply. The material is a synthetic velour type material on one side, and it is reversible, and there is a soft jersey cotton knit on the reverse. It is a strapless sleep mask, so there's no elastic or buckles to keep this on your head. The only way to secure this is through a hole on one end, and you loop the opposite end through the hole and you can secure it on your face. The other option would be to just lay it across your face and not have it tied across your face in any kind of way. So I tried this mask out for a week and I want to tell you about my thoughts. First off, let's talk about the benefits for this product. I could not believe how well this mask blocked out light. I have a really difficult time getting masks to totally block out light, and I was absolutely shocked at how well of a job it did. I think this is partially in part to how thick the mask is. It is a little bit wider than most other masks, and then also because it is filled with these beads that go freely through each pod, it can conform to your individual face shape. So I do think it would fit the vast majority of faces and block out light completely. Another thing that I was really pleasantly surprised about for this mask is it works phenomenal for side and belly sleepers. I am a side and belly sleeper myself, and I have a very difficult time finding a mask that works well for my sleeping style. The website for this product suggests that if you're a side sleeper, it recommends that you use the last two pods and then tuck the unfilled side under the side of your head. But I did not have as good of luck with that versus having the mask totally wrapped around my face and then just sleeping on one of the weighted pods. And I was really pleasantly surprised that it didn't irritate me in any way. I do think that is in part to how malleable the material is. So even though I was resting my face on it, I didn't find it uncomfortable. Another benefit to this is it doesn't irritate my ears, and this is in part to how thick the mask is, because it goes around your head and it totally wraps your ear, so there's no strap or buckle to irritate the top of your ears. One other thing that I really liked about this, and I'm not necessarily going to give it any extra points for this, is the packaging. Maybe it's just me turning into my mom, but I really like any nice type of durable packaging or bags or anything like that, and I tend to want to save those. I think you could probably even store your mask in here if you wanted to. So next, we're going to talk about the drawbacks for this product, and there's kind of a lot. So first off, I did not notice any difference for the weighted part of this mask for helping me to sleep any more easily or to sleep any more deeply. In fact, I think that the weighted part of this mask made it more difficult to fall asleep. And I don't know if there is any actual science behind having the weight on your face versus having it on your body. I did a little bit of looking on Google and I couldn't find anything that immediately jumped out, which doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't exist, but there wasn't any sources that I could find readily available as far as deep touch therapy on your face. Secondly, and this is the one that really got me, this product is not made for people who move around a lot while they sleep. Because this mask is weighted and it's not secured to your head other than the tension with the end going through the hole, there's nothing to keep this from shifting when you shift while you sleep. And this is the one that really got me, because basically every time I moved, the mask moved, and because it is so weighted, I noticed and I briefly woke up during sleep. I think that this product would be a lot better suited for somebody like my boyfriend who broke his neck and he basically sleeps on his back and does not move at all. I think think this would be a lot better product for somebody like this. Now, to be fair, the website does say that the mask isn't intended to be on your face the entire night while you sleep, which I'm really torn by, because on the one hand, I do recognize the fact that since it doesn't have a strap or anything to secure it to your face other than just the tension of the end going through the buttonhole, it makes sense that it's not going to stay on your face. But I feel like the reason that I wear sleep masks and that a lot of other people wear sleep masks isn't because they need it when they're going to bed, because at least for me, my room is pretty dark when I go to sleep, but it's those early AM hours after the sun has gone up, but I still need like 2 more hours of sleep that I need that sleep mask. And at that point, the mask is somewhere in my bed and it's no longer on my face. Another thing that I didn't really like about this mask is kind of poorly made. It's not like dollar store quality or anything like that, but the mask is $32 and I would expect a little bit more out of a above $30 mask. So I sew, and some details for this immediately stuck out to me. So I don't know if you can see this at all, but the stitching for this mask is uneven, and the stitching is kind of big for where this is on the mask, and then the top stitching on the ends, which you're not going to be able to see at all, just is uneven essentially. And my thought process is if the details that I can see aren't so great, then obviously the construction on the inside also isn't going to be so great. Also, for what it's worth, the fabric on this, while it's not terrible, I don't think is $32 mask material. I don't know if you can see this either, but the mask is starting to pill even though I've only used this for a week. So the other thing that got me that's related to that is because if you're wrapping it around your face, you're relying on the tension of this essentially a buttonhole to keep the mask on your face. I think over time it's going to wear out, and in fact, the week that I tested this mask, there was a big difference between day 1 or night 1 when I wore the mask and how well it stayed on my face versus night 7, and it kind of wanted to slip down. Something else that I didn't really care for is this mask caused me discomfort. And first off, when I was wearing the mask and I was trying to fall asleep, I noticed discomfort in my neck, and it felt like my neck wasn't well supported enough. And I think that has to do in part with just the extra weight on your face. And then the other thing that I noticed is this mask tends to give me a headache, and I'm not somebody who is prone to headaches by any means, but on the 3 out of the 7 nights that I tested this mask, I got a headache shortly after putting it on, leading me to believe it has to be the mask that was the source of my headache. The thing that seemed weird to me about that is when I was doing research for this mask, one of the recommendations as far as a benefit for this mask is headache and migraine relief, and at least in my experience, that didn't pan out. So overall, would I recommend this mask? I hate to shit on this mask, especially considering the fact that this is just really an ingenuitive product as far as being something different on the market. Most sleep masks are basically iterations of the same thing, just with slight differences. And I really admire the ingenuity and the thought that went into this product, but at least for me, this wasn't a win. I think that the type of person that this is intended for is a very, very specific type of sleeper, and that sleeper isn't me. So even though the testing is over, I haven't reached for this mask again, and I think I'm unlikely to reach for this mask again. I'll probably give this mask to John to see if he has better luck with it, because it was a wash for me. If you have a recommendation for a good sleep mask for a side and stomach sleeper, please comment and let me know, because I really need a good recommendation. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so I know you enjoyed it. And if you also want to be a well-rested human, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you get notified every time I upload. Sweet dreams. The Nodpod. Not a sponsor. I'm gonna put you in my bloopers. Also, right before you came home, the ice cream truck came by. And it was like, do 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 do. So I'm like waiting for it to go by. Like all the dogs are pushed up into the window.